Hi, I'm Josanne Wright Callender, the author of the Happy Little Garbage Truck Picture Book and Educational System. Well, today I thought we'd get into the strategies of planning for goals. However, let me recap. And there's one more thing that I thought of that I'd like to discuss before we go into strategies. Well, for the past week or so, we've been doing conversations focused on building hope. And the reason why I find this as it's such an important topic these days, especially during this pandemic and the quarantines that we've been going through, that children need hope, and specifically because hope can deflect depression. And, I've been working with different students and children even during this time and have found that they love having something to work toward. And so, just as we do, we have to have goals to work toward. And that's what C.R. Snyder discovered in his hope theory. But what I found most encouraging is that research has shown that when a person has hope, because I've done some reading about research that happens in hospitals um, and retirement situations, and these different types of research have found all of them, even on using um, the medication for ADHD, that dopamine being released, this neurotransmitter connects to receptors in the brain that drive pleasure, but they also drive motivation and reduces the cost benefit ratio so that the person sees more the benefit than the costs to moving towards that item that is sought. And hope releases dopamine. So, when I found that out, I said, we've got to focus on things that will elicit and drive hope in our children, especially at this time. Well, C.R. Snyder's hope theory suggests that when we move from just regular goal setting into that higher level where the goal is maybe a stress goal, you still believe that you can reach it, but it's a little bit higher than you would normally be seeking to do something. So he said that those are the goals that drive hope. And so that's why we've been talking about goal setting. There's the goal setting itself, having a goal, finding a goal, then planning the steps towards getting to that goal, and then the strategies that keep us motivated toward the goal. And so that three-part hope theory strategy is what we've been looking at. So in my own journey, I decided to talk about the creation of the Happy Little Garbage Truck from its inception to having this, physical hard copy in front of me right now. Now, this journey has been a long one. I started in 2005, inspired by a student who loved garbage trucks. But my focus was to create a literacy and a social skills program that would encourage children to learn both skills in a fun way, which is my motto. I think all children can learn when learning it is fun. And it has to be fun for the child, has to be fun for the teacher. And so that is one of my huge mottos that has kept me going 27 some years in the field of education and teaching in particular. I was a classroom teacher, I was a mentor teacher, uh, mentored interns and teachers who are seeking to get their national board certificate. I also became a program specialist. I was a teacher consultant. So, I was in the classroom as much as I could possibly be. But these goals for literacy and social skills were goals that I knew were valuable. So, the fun the funny thing that happened is after I finally got my book and I was excited because I was ready to, roll it out and share this with teachers, my sister, Lydia Madison, said, "Well, how will teachers know how to use your book without a teacher's guide?" And it was like, "Oh, no." Back to the drawing board. I have to create a teacher's guide. It never occurred to me until that point that one was needed, but it made a lot of sense and was a brilliant idea. So my hat's off to my sister. So I had never written a teacher's guide before, so I started researching how they were constructed, and then I started thinking about how does my book teach skills and how can I guide teachers in a path that will allow them to do the things that I was doing in my classrooms. So after several attempts, this is still in the planning, I researched, wrote the book. Then I turned what I had over to my team of peer reviewers. And that included teachers, parents who homeschooled, a resource teacher, and several child psychologists because of the social emotional side of the teacher's guide. And all of their comments were incorporated into this wonderful teacher's guide, the happy little garbage truck, teacher's guide. So, I love this now. It's a wonderful, um, it just it was a real stress goal. That's what I could truly say. And just thinking about how it took about a year and a half to deliver this, from thought to paper. But I love it because I've got teachers, the dialogue written in red, materials, how to do the same thing that I've done with children. And the strange thing about this is as I started doing the teacher's guide, I said, well, the children will need something to exercise their skills as well. So I came up with a children's activity book, and it has about 4 or 5 activities for each day, some a little harder, like word searches and crossword puzzles. And then I thought that I'd make, some activities fairly easy for coloring, which can be used with a different variety as I plan, different levels of skills. So next time, we'll talk about the strategies that kept me going as I've been setting up these different materials to make teaching literacy and social skills available to teachers and parents. So thank you for sharing. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.